staff careers coaching interview and hints and tips session. Really pleased today to welcome Adam Payne to us, and Adam's got some serious expertise in the networking field. So today we're going to be talking about networking, and this is part of our Be Career Confident series. So we're here to help you have easy hints and tips, access whenever you can, to help with your career search and managing your career, especially in these uncertain times. So Adam, welcome, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
It was quite apt because I popped out on our social media strings. Can anybody recommend who'd be a great person to talk to about networking? Yeah. And you got recommended several times. So would you like to introduce yourself and what you do and why you're great at networking? Why people think you are the networker?
I'm Adam Payne. I've got a number of multiple small businesses. TCM UK Limited, which is a manufacturing consultancy. I've got TCM UK 3D, which is a additive manufacturing business. And then I also do coaching and mentoring, which is where my heart really sits. The networking side, I think it's just been about how I've gone about what I needed to do to build the businesses in networking and getting out there and getting known and talking with people. And that's how that networking side come about. But I use both face-to-face and online, which I'm sure we'll go through.
Face-to-face would be lovely if we were in
yes,
normal times, wouldn't we?
Yes.
But we have all had to, I think the word that's being overused maybe is pivot, but we all have had to change it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Mind you, see, I look at this as face-to-face as well, though.
Yeah, me too.
Although we're not there, it's still, we can still see the body language and
better than just the phone.
Yeah.
Although the phone can work as well, as we say, we'll talk through. And I think when we initially had a conversation, what I really liked about your career history is that, you know, you'd been through manufacturing, you'd managed people, you'd managed huge amounts of plants, and your career had taken different turns, and that whole way of you have networked and connected with people, and that is probably quite natural to you in your way now with where you are within your business. But you've also worked with people and employed people who will be very similar, that will unfortunately be made redundant at the moment. So we're starting to see people who have probably been in a job for 10, 15 years, just starting to look for a new role because their furloughs come to an end and unfortunately they have been made redundant. And they might be listening at this thinking, networking? What do you mean networking to get a job? How's that going to help me? So could you just give a bit of an idea of how you think networking can help people when they're finding themselves unemployed?
Yeah, the thing for me that I always look at on this is, I think very similarly, the analogy I use is this degrees of separation.
Yeah.
So if we, I think it is that you've got 6 degrees of separation before you come full circle, is it all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Side. Now I look at this from a point of view as if I'm networking, and I talk with another person, I get along with that other person sees the value that I can have. That person may not be the one that's going to employ me, but they may talk to the next degree of separation in somebody that might have a role. So that's where networking comes in. So the more people you can network, build that value added side with, that know, like and trust factor, the better. It'll just carry on, it'll just grow from that side. So
how do people network then in if they're starting from scratch? You know, you do a lot of networking, and there's lots of ways to network for different purposes, but how can people network? Maybe that's the first thing we should in normal times and non-normal times.
Normal times, face-to-face, we can get into, you know, if we're in a redundancy scenario, we're now no longer working. There are a number of different networking organisations out there. free ones. So FSB, they
Yeah.
do networking. So go along to those because they're employers, there are business owners there on that side.
Yeah.
So you
And
can
that's the
start
Federation of Small Businesses,
small
isn't it?
business.
Yeah.
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 Chamber is another one. They
Yeah.
run networking, so you can gain that face-to-face side. But even now, the online networking, I think you could probably, in this current predicament that we're in, you could probably spend a day networking and go to probably 5 or 6 different meetings in one day and
Yeah.
network with people.
And these are all held via like crowdcast events, aren't they?
Yeah, Zoom and Zoom is probably the one that I do the most. So yes, you could end up with. I mean, I've been on some networking where there's been over 100 people on it.
Wow.
And
So that's quite a big number. And if somebody's not networked before, they're probably thinking, where am I going to do all of that, and how's that going to work for me? And like we say, there's lots of things that people could do. If they were going to do one thing first in that networking to try and help them find a job, what would you recommend?
LinkedIn.
Okay, so lots of people have talked about LinkedIn, and it's I think when you're into it, you know it, but there's going to be a lot of people out there that will be thinking, what is LinkedIn? So for a summary, how would you describe LinkedIn?
If I go back to as an exec and as an employer, the first place I will go to is LinkedIn. So if I'm searching for a certain position, I will probably put that into LinkedIn and search to see who's around there. So who brings up that keyword, and I will look then at the individual. So location, the area I'm looking at, and so therefore the job description and the keywords within that job role. So.
And LinkedIn, for people who don't know, and I'm sure most people do, but it's pretty much putting your CV onto, I always say, a professional version of Facebook.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And it's that networking, how you would normally see if you were looking to buy a motorbike or a car or a caravan or clothes. What you'll see on LinkedIn is companies you may want to work for, whether it's Mercedes or Ocado or Marks and Spencer's. You will get that into your feed as you would normally do on a Facebook feed.
Yes, because you can, when you go into LinkedIn, you exactly as you want to do it. Even if you did it sort of like at the very start off level in setting up LinkedIn, you'll create your profile, take your CV and just create that into your profile. You have a start off summary section on LinkedIn, which is exactly that, a summary section.
Yeah.
So in there, I would recommend that you, not so much as a CV, but what you actually bring, what you've achieved, how you've gone about that, a bit of your why. Simon Sinek uses a thing, know your why. So I would do that, a bit of your why as to why you do what you do.
Yeah.
And then you could put in a testimonial in there, some words that people have put in, so people can see and get that feel of knowing who you are and what you're about.
Yeah.
The rest of it, then the experience, then can be your CV and that side, what you've achieved. Tagline on so your title. So if you were a production manager, put production manager in.
Yeah.
But also put some keywords into that production side. So keywords that are fitting with your ideal role that you're looking for, because employers will look for that keyword on LinkedIn.
And this is what you were saying at the beginning, that's where you search. So if you were looking to recruit a production manager with Lean or Six Sigma, you'd put those in as a search criteria and see who popped up.
Yes, because I would do production manager, and the production manager would be, because it's the Boolean search function, because LinkedIn has a powerful search function.
Yeah.
It would be production manager in the quotation marks and capital as a word, Lean, and that will look for production manager and Lean in your profile.
Yeah.
So yes, very keyword orientated. So
I suppose it's like flipping it on its head, isn't it? If you were looking for a job, you'd be putting that you want a production manager's job, and you want to utilise your lean experience, you might want it to be in Leicestershire, North
Yeah.
Warwickshire. You'd put that in, and then the job boards would feed you with the jobs that are available. And you can
Yeah.
search LinkedIn for jobs as well, can't you? It goes both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. LinkedIn is a great tool for searching for jobs, to see what's out there. The other aspect of it is as well is that you could, or you should, follow the businesses that you're interested in working for. So they come into your feed. So any posts that they post out, because they will post job vacancies,
Yeah.
they'll post news, they'll post, all manner of stuff. But it will be in your feed then, so you can
Yeah.
see. Then you can engage with it. And that's where you can show your value added element around your knowledge, your expertise, and that side. And people
And
then begin to see it.
how do you start to engage? You said follow the company. What else is there that people could then do?
You can, again, if you follow the company, if you click the company, this is what I would do. I would follow the company.
Yeah.
I'd then click to see who's employed. Out of those
Yeah.
employers, I would then hunt round who is the ideal person for me to try and engage with,
Yeah.
that I could either talk to or potentially get my CV in front of. So it could be an HR person, it could be an operations director if you're looking for production manager.
Yeah.
And click on that person, because it allows you to do that. Click on that person, see what they're talking about on their posts.
Yeah.
Engage with them posts, and then offer a connection request.
And that's when you start building those connections up, and that's that networking piece, isn't it? And those 6 degrees of separation.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And that's where just no two ways about it. That is where I would focus for a start off. So get your profile, nice banner, nice profile picture. So a nice head and shoulders shot, nothing like posing with a pint glass or wine glass or sprawled across your motorbike, or just it's a nice head and shoulders portrait shot so they can see you. And a nice banner. Don't use the standard LinkedIn one. Nice banner, and make your summary nice and easy to consume. So some nice white space in there as well. So when you return or set a new paragraph, hit another line, so there's a little bit of white space.
Yeah.
Easy on the eye and easy to consume.
Somebody once said to me, it's about, you want to position it so that you're making somebody think and feel something about you. So you've got to be thinking, what do I want somebody to think about me?
Yes.
And as much as you can digitally, what do you want them to feel as they're reading it? So I want them to think that I'm experienced in this. I want them to feel, oh, this person could be a good fit for our organisation. And what do you want them to do? Well, actually, what you'd like them to do is you'd like the organisation to reach out to you and request the connection. It's all about what you want back from it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The other thing I would look at as well is which is a new function that's just come into it, is that you can actually now tell recruiters and people at the top what you are open to.
Yeah, you're open to your opportunities.
So the opportunity. So make sure you've got that covered.
Turned on.
For the
and
there's no harm in saying, if it was a production example, as an example, title production manager, and start off with that, because that's the real key word. And then after it, seeking new opportunities. No problem with that at all.
No, absolutely.
Because when you engage with somebody on a post, they will, if you like somebody, if you like a comment, all they see is the photograph of you.
Yeah.
When you engage with it, so you comment on it, they see you and your title.
Yeah.
So that's where, if you are, as you engage and you put the value added across, if it strikes up a chord with somebody and they see it and they see that you're open for opportunities, it's just another way of showing that you're there, and know your stuff, and approach me if you're interested.
Fabulous. Now, you and I both use LinkedIn quite a lot. So we've got a fair few connections, and we both know you can get consumed by this.
Yes,
And
you
then
can.
I've already referred to it as a bit of the professional version of Facebook. You can spend quite a bit of time on there following companies, connecting with people and engaging in it, and it could be a bit consuming. What would your top sort of, if you're going to say, right, top 3 tips to do if you're going to do something on a regular basis, because obviously consistency does help. Once you've got your profile up and running, what were the things that you would advise somebody to do on a if they were searching for a role, and what sort of regularity, if you can say that?
I'd start off with the search, just so searching, say I'm coming in on a daily basis.
Yep.
I'd spend no longer than sort of like half an hour, 3/4 of an hour on it.
Yep.
Limit it.
Okay.
You may do sort of like half an hour in the morning or half an hour in the evening, so you've got
Yep.
2.
Yeah.
But as you say, don't get consumed by it, because then you're hanging on a thread all the time, and you don't want that. That's no good for you at all.
No.
Follow the companies that you're interested in, people that are posted on there. Even if you don't think that is the right person that you want to link with, if it's something you can engage with and show your value added with, remember that that person may be linked with the seniors of the business. So as you comment and they like it and they engage with you, they will see it as well. So don't remember that it carries on the second and third
6 degrees of separation again.
Yes. So just engage, like some stuff, but definitely engage with it. Show that you know your stuff, you're knowledgeable, have the experience, because it will come to you, and make it a routine. Don't drop in and drop out of it.
Consistency.
Just consistency, and limit it, as I say, to 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the afternoon. And put it down.
Fabulous. Now, you do lots with LinkedIn. This is there's so much, and we could talk for hours about that. But the best way to do this is to get involved, isn't it? And get you get your LinkedIn profile up and running, and then get involved. So you do some workshops and some blogs and some podcasts to help people out, and obviously for us, working within engineering, manufacturing and automated distribution, it's nice to be speaking to somebody from that background as well, because it's not a digital person or a marketing person that's driven by it. It's, you've been in that industry. So what sort of things could you offer people who are looking to get some help on that LinkedIn?
If no problem, you can either follow me or connect with me, because I will connect anyway. I've got blogs on my www.adampayne.me. And if you go there, you'll see it at the top. It's just called Bits and Blogs. There'll be things on LinkedIn as well as other stuff, but you will see things on LinkedIn. I'm going to be doing one in the next day or so, which is going to be how to set your profile up.
Fabulous.
So just around what you need to look at, excuse me, the high-res portrait, the summary, and some little tips on that. And I might even do some digital downloads with it yet. So I'm just
fabulous
for free digital downloads, see what's there.
Good.
But yes, just engage. And the other side of it for me is if you want to ask a question around LinkedIn, ask me, because I'll tell you, I will always answer anybody that gives me a question, asks me a question. So you can connect me, ask me a question, and I'll help.
Fabulous. And I think to finish on this, again, I'm very conscious that this will be new to a lot of people, and that some people, when we've been talking with them, is that the right thing to do, to reach out and connect with people and be that direct? Because maybe the last time they looked for a role, it was about putting an application, applying via a local advert or something like this, and this is quite direct, and some people feel a little bit rude of connecting and feel a bit uncomfortable doing that. but my opinion is that most people within LinkedIn, especially people that are working these employers, everybody's there to help. They want to help. And, you know, it is a good place and a safe place to network.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely.
Putting people's
It's
mind at rest.
yeah, no, that it is a very, very safe place to be, to network with. You've got to look at it as well as you're putting a CV onto Indeed and the job sites like
Yeah,
that. LinkedIn is probably more at the forefront than those anyway, because
yeah,
the first thing that probably an employer will do is if they get your CV,
yeah,
they'll then go straight to LinkedIn and
yeah,
to marry the two up
yeah.
and search you out.
Mm.
So yeah, just crack on, get
Yeah,
on there,
be
because it is
visible.
the digital. Yeah, you've got to be visible,
Yeah,
definitely,
brilliant.
and just be work. Don't be afraid to connect.
Yeah,
Um, don't necessarily put a message. Worry about putting a message on the connection request,
hmm,
because there's sort of like arguments to say, does it work? Doesn't it work? Don't worry about it. Just connect.
yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It's just do it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do it, you're not going to know whether they're going to say yes or no. They're certainly not going to be rude. But if you don't do it, you're not going to know whether you're going to get that connection or not.
Yeah, I don't think in the X amount of thousand I've got in my collection, I don't even know how many I have. I've never had one person that's ever been rude,
No, no. I
ever.
think
So you just, yeah,
it's the one thing to, like you say, the one thing that you're going to do to start networking is LinkedIn.
yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, it'll just set you up. Another tip that I would say to you is to make it, and I will put this in the blog because it's a little bit hard to explain, but you can edit your link, your URL link. So
Yes,
mine is Adam Payne UK. So
yes,
Adam Payne's got, so you can make it very, very bespoke to your
yeah,
job. So it's not
yeah.
just a long list of numbers
Yeah,
on
because
it.
when it's auto-generated, it is a long list of numbers, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
mine is
yeah,
just Ruth Forster as well, but it is a good way to do that.
it is. Yeah.
Adam, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And for everybody that's watching, certainly recommend that you check out Adam Payne and his blogs and support on LinkedIn. It will be really helpful for you. And thank you very much for your time today and being part of our crowd. Well, not our crowdcast. Our crowdcasts are coming up next, but from our Zoom interview for this one.
You're
Great to
welcome.
see
Thank you
you
very
and
much.
great to see you on Zoom for now.
Yes, thank you.
Cheers,
Thanks for having
Adam.
me.
Thanks.